I'm Dr. Angela McBurdy of DoctorFlute.com, and today's flute tip is on playing softly. It can be really difficult to play softly. When I get students who come to me, their modus operandi for playing softly is to squeeze here. So if I play a B, normally a mezzo forte, they would play a B softly because they squeeze their embouchure. And they squeeze it here because it lets out a lot less air and the sound is going to be smaller. But it also diminishes the quality of your sound. So playing softly is an art in and of itself and needs to be practiced all on its own. Playing crescendos and diminuendos is a great way to learn where your soft can be. If I want a student to work on learning how to play softly without closing up their embouchure, I'm going to start them with a forte and they have to diminuendo over as long as they can. Now I have more air. I could have gone longer, but I think that gives you the idea of what I would be working on with them. How you do that diminuendo is you start with a nice big open embouchure. You play that nice forte sound with good vibrato. And then, if you've worked on tapers, basically you taper over a very long period of time, meaning you're bringing your jaw up and out over as long as you can. Now, tapers are a great way to learn where soft can be, because somewhere as you start tapering, you do get softer. Now, I can taper a forte note short, and I'm still bringing my jaw up and out and tapering, but I think if we were to take that note and put it on some machine that measures your sound and the loudness and softness of it, you'd see that at the very end of that, there's a little soft tail on. And when we taper or diminuendo over a long period of time, we're just drawing out that tail. So that's the first place to start working when you're playing soft. Now, let's say you've worked on that and you know that as you bring your jaw up and out there, you get softer without squeezing. So let me play the diminuendo and stop somewhere in the soft range. So I stopped and just held a soft. That would be a piano. But you didn't see me squeeze in here or tighten up. I'm just as loose when I play that soft here as when I'm playing a forte, because squeezing is never the answer. Now, one thing to make sure is that you have enough support from below, that you are really taking your breath, tightening it up, and that support, or those tightness of your muscles there, and building up with that pressure holds on to that note, keeps the pitch right where it is when you want to be soft, without letting it drop, without the tone going down the octave, while you keep that air stream steady. So you must have good support while you do that. Now let's get a little bit more specific. I have in front of me Troyen by Ferrot. So it's part of his 3 pieces. And he has this place on the first page where you play double piano, and then just when you think that's enough, you end that and you're supposed to play quadruple piano. Now, I don't think I'm playing quadruple piano, but it's a piece in process, and I'm working on what exactly is being asked by this composer here and what's appropriate. But even so, it's a great place to work on playing softly and even playing softer. It starts off with a B and an E. So I'm going to play those. These are pieces for flute alone, so I don't need to be worried about covering the piano covering me up. I can play pretty soft if I can get pretty soft. So these are staccato notes, and in order to play soft staccato, a lot of pressure. Let me tell you again, a lot of pressure. Also, so that's a B, trying to play it soft and staccato. My embouchure, so I'm thinking that as I tapered, I went up and out. But when I want to start on a double piano, I need to get just a little bit, my lips need to come out. They need to be more forward to play these softs. I think when you're back, I have less control. I think I did get softer, but I think automatically, without me trying not to, I still brought my lips a little bit more forward. So I don't think I was kind of still keeping it back. So you bring the lips more forward so you can control that, have a lot of support. There's a crescendo in there. Now it's back to soft. So now, that's the quadruple piano. So let me think about what do I want to do? So I did get considerably softer. I'm not sure that I would want to perform with that particular sound, but I held in more air. Now, let's talk about air. Less air is going to give you a softer sound. So when I'm playing really softly, I cannot use as much air as when I'm playing a forte. Forte B, a soft B. Now I could play that soft B for a whole lot longer than I could play the forte B because I'm holding in the air, and a forte sound uses more air. So I'm really conserving that air and holding it in. And if I want to try to get softer on the A when it's quadruple piano, I'm going to tongue that a couple times to say, where is that quadruple? Where do I want it to be? And can I still keep the lips open so that I have a nice sound? Now, does my embouchure close up a little bit between a forte and a piano? Yeah, I think it does. But you know what? I don't want to think about it. I'm not really thinking about closing up, and I'm not going to tell my younger students, especially my younger ones, to close up that embouchure, because younger kids always go to the extreme and do it too much. And I want them to think about controlling that sound because of their air pressure, holding it in, bringing their lips a little more forward, and thinking of taper. And a taper coming up and out is going to close up the embouchure a little bit. So if I use those terms, my students are less likely to squeeze that embouchure, make their everything here really tight, and control the air by here. This is never the place to control your forte or your pianos. You want to do it from your pressure. You want to do it from your formation of your embouchure, but it still needs to stay open and relaxed. So if you're feeling pressure in here and it's feeling tight when you're trying to play softly, you know that something is wrong. So practice playing softly. Practice your tapers. That'll help you get there. Do fortes and diminuendos into that piano so you can really feel how does your embouchure work. It's flexible, it moves, and where does your embouchure need to be as you move up and out, more more forward lips. Where does it need to be to play that soft? And if you're unable to hold on to that soft, probably you don't have enough air pressure, enough support for that note. So practice those. It'll make a world of difference in your solos. It's amazing when I hear someone play a forte and then immediately they're playing softly. It's an amazing piece because the ability to go from a forte to a soft with nothing in between is something to admire. Have fun working on your soft playing. It can be accomplished and you can stay in tune while you do it. Have fun. That's today's flute tip. If you like today's flute tip, press the like button, subscribe, comment below, and share it with your friends.